All right, everyone. Thank you for coming into our show. This is my boy. This is the Alexa Emery, soon to be named podcast or vlogcast. In the meantime, want to let y'all know a little about ourselves. Both of us are previous podcast hosters. Emery has an amazing podcast. Check his out. What's the name of your podcast, sir?
Gray Parachute.
Okay, so I wanted to let you know this show is brought to you by Diamonds Entertainment and Great Parachute. So follow us on your favorite social medias, which we posted below. So I wanted to we're going to talk today about some sports. Everybody's back on it because football is back. Honestly, I did not think the NFL season was going to happen, and I kind of don't expect it to continue. In all
Yeah,
honesty,
I'm waiting for it to be over. It's like I don't know. It's like a relationship. It's like a couple, like a relationship between like Kardashian and a light skinned NFL basketball player. It's like it's going to end pretty quick.
yeah, I don't think it's going to. I think if players are wilding out in the NBA, you think the NFL is going to have where they're not even locked into a bubble. They're going
I just don't understand. I mean, I'm not the biggest of COVID conspirators or warriors. Like, I mean, I understand how serious it is, but I'm not out there trying to play football. Like, I've been to the store, I went to the mall, I just went to the movie theater to see Tenet. It was just me and Jasmine in the theater, which was
in the
crazy.
whole.
The whole theater, and so like I can rock with that, but I'm trying to keep distance. But playing straight up football just seems like unnecessary. How many hundreds of millions of dollars is lost? I mean, almost billions of dollars are lost a year. I get, but how much of that money really just go to player salary? So I'm like, I mean, I don't think it's necessary. But I'm not, I don't want to get into that whole higher than now thinking.
I understand. Completely understand. So I wanted to talk to you about the first game, the first big game of the week, which was definitely New England. I mean, the fake Patriots, as I like to call them now, the Tampa Bay
Yeah,
Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints. I was so, I was so. I'm.
were
I
you
hate to be
happy?
the.
You
I
were
hate to
happy,
be
weren't
the
you?
one to. I didn't want to be the one to be like, yeah, Brady. This should show Brady who he really was. But yeah, I think it did. I think it
Why
showed
though?
Brady who.
But
I know.
why? It was one game, first game. First game, new quarterback, no preseason. You can practice all you want. I think people like you who are like Giants fans, the fact that is that a Jeremy Shockey jersey?
No, Victor Cruz. I'm from Jersey,
Even
man. Come on.
even worse,
He from down
Victor.
the way. He from down the way, man.
Anyway, so I think everybody's like, yeah, man, he sucks. I saw a meme with Jameis Winston. Like, see, I told you it wasn't on me. And so everybody's like, oh man, yo, Tom Brady's actually a system quarterback. I'm like, it's first game. It's the first game. I mean, I ain't gonna overreact. And the Saints are good. Like, I don't want you to
Sound logic, yes. This is going from passion, but sound logic, yes. He just doesn't understand the cube. He doesn't understand the. He's still formulating his time with the receivers. Mind you, all those years in New England, he had those guys for years. He had Julian Edelman for a couple of seasons. He's
whoa,
had
whoa. He only had Julian Edelman for a bunch of seasons. He had
no,
nobody
he had
else.
him about three. Was it three?
He had no, but what you're saying is, I get your
Can I
point.
can I
The
be
only
honest? Can I be honest? Julia Edelman, Danny
okay.
Amendola to Ricky Pro is the same wide receiver. I don't. They're interchangeable. They all play exactly the same way since
You
he's been
sound
there.
racist. You're saying all white guys, all little white guys are the same. No, but only person he had consistently was Gronk. The only person he had consistently was Gronk and
Who's
Amendola.
in Tampa Bay? Yeah,
Yeah, fine. But Gronk retired. Like he's not. I'm not. He was done.
he's
Darn.
not. Yeah, he's not all there.
I don't even know what
He's
his
not
stats
already
were. What
there.
did Gronk do yesterday? He ain't do nothing.
Two
But like
catches.
the thing that you really gotta appreciate is the fact that he had that old line for so long, which he may not have. I don't
Hmm.
even know what that time. So me and now new coach, new system, new receivers who don't know him, new backs who ain't even that good, which is crazy. I was really afraid of that backfield. I was like, who they got? Not Peyton Barber. I think he left. Yeah, no, Ronald Jones, uh, something second, and you got Leonard
Hmm.
Fournette. I was like, oh, this team about to be nice, but then really, like that was a whole surprise to me. Like they did nothing.
When when he was in New England, he didn't have a serious backfield. I mean, Michelle started getting really nice, but
Yo,
I
we
thought
people
with
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think the problem is that with New England, they felt like it felt like a Madden team being put together. Like, oh, let me flip make a trade and put this together and it'll work.
I have
because
to
I
look.
think everybody kept believing that Tampa Bay was always a QB away, and now still think they're a
Why?
QB away.
But why are we disrespecting Tampa Bay as if all right, yeah, James Newton would throw a lot of picks. My man did have LASIK surgery. Let's not forget the fact that my man threw up 30 touchdowns. Yes, he threw 30 picks. But if he learned that security, I was talking to my friend while working out today. I was like, yo, he wasn't bad. Maybe he just needed then I forgot they had him for like 5 years. So then I was like, okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
and
But
and and you know what's crazy is that was his best season last year.
no, his rookie season was amazing. He was rookie of the year. Like
I mean, no,
uh,
he threw more touchdowns last year.
he threw 30
Hold on, I'll
touchdowns.
do
I'm
in
I'm
30.
trying. I'm trying to. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't. I'm not the. See, I'm not fun. I'm not gonna be fun. I'm just like we overreacting. Now, if we talk about a team I have some strong feelings about. You could tell. But when it comes to like the Saints and Patriots, we
Yo,
all
we're gonna
know
get to them.
you ain't talking about my team. My team don't show up here at all. So don't worry about it. But anyway, I'll let you run topics, bro. I just Brady will be fine. Brady will be fine. He probably won't make. He probably will make the playoffs today. He won't make it to the Super Bowl this year. I doubt it. I doubt it. But if he does, whatever. I don't feel bad.
Best case option for me in New England is, and I'm sorry, I keep calling them New England and Tampa Bay, is if they can at least be 9-7, and I don't see that happening in the NFC South or the team that you're just getting to know. And I still don't believe in Tampa Bay's defense. I've always said that was really Tampa Bay's biggest problem.
Hold on. I'm gonna look at the. I straight up like. I'm so used to him being in another season, another team that I was looking at the wrong conference. So like, look at their roster real quick. New England. I mean, New Orleans lost.
Yeah,
Carolina.
exactly.
No, I know. Check this out. Carolina win. Denver push. Chargers win. Chicago win. Green Bay lost. Raiders win. Giants win. New Orleans push. Carolina. Yeah, 9-7. You're right. I can give you that.
9-7, 9-7, and that's best case scenario. No,
They put
barring no injury.
they play
I
at
don't.
yo. The last 3 games of the season is Atlanta, Detroit, Atlanta. That's 3-0. Kansas City's a loss, but see, they might hit their stride. They might hit their stride after beating the Giants. Like, I don't know, whatever. I'm sorry. I was just saying you. I mean, just watch out for it. Objectively, as an objective person, I'm just saying it could be a very interesting season. Okay.
But though, do you think now on the real? I think New Orleans could make a real killing sweep now.
I'm mad you
I think
eating.
that.
Like your lack of professionalism as you eating bothers me, but it's cool. It's fine. I was gonna drink some coffee, but I was like, no, I need to be
I,
focused. It's all good. I'm not judging you.
I didn't eat. I went and worked out and did everything today, so
Man, listen,
I had to. So
I'm on vacation. I had a tequila sunrise for lunch, so I can't judge you. And I think one of the things you said has Brady been exposed. Oh, my tablet, my phone. Can you still hear me? You can hear me, cool. You said Brady been exposed. Just keep going. Just next. Like, no, he hasn't been exposed. Like, what did he score? Like, they still scored. Like, they forced it to Mike Evans. That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, they took us for 23 points. What he did? Hey, he got sacked 3 times because that line isn't good. So this goes to show that what's his name was throwing it because he had to. He just had to get the ball out. Like that line is trash. Their running game. So Tom Brady had a rushing touchdown.
Oh yeah, that was the first. I mean, he's that's typical for him. In all honesty, a lot of people don't think so, but he actually has a lot. But surprising, you know what came up? That I think they said he's either second or third of all time in pick sixes.
You play as long. That's not crazy. You played that long.
But he's
You know
so
what I mean?
known for not having, for being a so low interception quarterback.
Bro, but that's like the person who has the most techs of all time or the most turnovers is Karl Malone. He played for like 20 years. It's like,
Yeah.
that's not crazy. My man.
So let me ask you, now with the real Patriots, did you see that game?
No. I'm horrible at watching games, but I knew they was gonna win. Like
Yeah, you know what? I
so I
thought so
follow
too when I saw
I watch
Fitzmagic
a
was gonna.
lot
When
of
I saw,
stats. I watch a lot of stats. Not to cut you off, I
Mhm.
watch a lot of stats and a lot of highlight plays. I knew he was gonna win. It's Miami. Like why did
You didn't
it's
think they were going to improve? Miami was going to be a problem?
with who? Who's gonna improve with? Ryan Fitzpatrick? No, no knock on him. He saved my fantasy season. What, like 10 years ago? I'll never forget.
What they had Buffalo?
I had Ryan Fitzpatrick. I had Stevie. What's his name? Stevie something.
Oh,
Dag.
Stevie Johnson, I think. I
Yo,
forgot his name. I know you're talking
that
about the old Bills
they
wide
went
receiver.
like 6-0. So Ryan
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick, there are like five receivers, I mean five quarterbacks or five players in the whole NFL that always have a place in my heart. Him, Jason Campbell, Arian Foster, Akeem Nicks. Like these guys can do no wrong to me. I don't care what happens. So I know I love Ryan Fitzpatrick, but that team as a whole is still kind of trash. So what's back? Like Cam, and you thought Cam like he ain't hurt. He his foot was hurting or some crap like that last year. He came back and was ready. I wasn't. They wasn't gonna lose. If they lost, then I was like, it's the season to watch. It got Corona, and I wasn't gonna pay attention if Cam lost.
Yo, this is the point I had on the last one. I sent it to you wrong. Did you see Cam's drip? Did you see his outfit? Looking like the Curious George.
I can't. I can't.
Ranger.
I wish I could like put a meme of it. I just was like, whatever. I just don't care anymore. Like when I see how you get dressed, I kind of don't mind it. It was mildly tame. It was just bright. Like I think like okay, it's a nice. I like the suit. If it wasn't, I personally can't mess with like high suits. I do like high suits, but I don't like not wearing socks. Like I'm too American. Like I can't.
I don't.
I need socks. I need socks.
That's the new thing. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't. I don't.
Yeah.
So, speaking of that old Fitzpatrick and Bills team, the Bills, man. I don't know. I don't know what to think about them. I don't know if it was the Jets were just that bad or
Jets. It's the Jets.
the
The
Jets
Jets
are
are
just that
bad.
bad.
Jets are just bad.
The
And
Jets-
that's. I mean, we know what Josh Allen is. Josh Allen is like he reminds me a little bit of like Ryan Tannehill. He had to, but like no, he's actually more like Carson Wentz. Like small market school to prove himself, work his butt off to get to where he is. He's more of an athlete than a quarterback. He's just an athlete who really got good at football. So like he's like Aaron Rodgers, and once he really starts figuring out how to throw and how to read defenses, my man's gonna be a problem. Like you throw for 2 touchdowns and you run for one. Like he was a leading rusher on his team. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like you
Mhm.
do stuff like that. You know, I think they're pretty good. The problem is who's their receivers. Yeah, you got Josh. You got wait no, you got John Brown,
Stephen Diggs,
Stephen Diggs. Yeah, what's Stephen Diggs? Yeah,
who was pretty much everything for them on
that's
the wide
that's
receiver tip.
that team. That team's gonna be a problem because who's gonna? I mean that. But this is what that's what the AFC East been about. Like it's always fluctuated. It was the Patriots. It was either Patriots and it was always the battle for number two. It was never ever really the Dolphins. So they're between the Jets
It's been
or the
years since it
Bills.
was the Dolphins. Yeah,
That's
it's
I
been
mean,
years
it
since
was
it
been
was the Dolphins.
Chad Pennington. So it's like I think it's fine. I think we are where it is. I think it's the Bills' turn to be number two. Like they're going to be number two, but it's the Bills' turn to be number two because the Jets are going to be trash, and
Yeah,
it is.
because I still think New England has that division. I still think New England has
Yeah,
that
I
a
mean,
lot.
as I'm saying, it's just a battle for number two, and I think
Yeah,
a lot of divisions are going to be like that. Um, yeah.
except except the AFC West.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would say that. I could agree with that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Let's see what else I had here. Um, so I hate it. Aaron Rodgers, man. He's becoming what everybody hated on Peyton Manning about. What great during the regular season,
Um,
playoff time. Like you're gonna get Aaron Rodgers, Matt Stafford are your fantasy football kingpins. Like you want them for regular season. If they're on your team, they
I
just
mean,
can't pull through. Like what Aaron Rodgers did, he was out there doing Aaron Rodgers stuff again, like we always expect. But
it's not
you
just
know,
him that's bad during the play, and I also too during when you get well, all right. I mean, I noticed you don't jump out the window, but you lean pretty close out the window, and then I gotta pull you back. So it's like, all right, who's in who? All right, let's think about it. Who is in their conference? Who is in the conference with Green Bay?
Detroit, who
Okay.
was
No,
a
no, go ahead,
laughing
say it. Detroit, Minnesota, and Chicago.
in
And
Chicago,
that's who they
and
playing for the year. So he's going to light them up because he knows them all the time. Then he gets to a playoff to a team that's actually good, who they've never scouted for, and now they spent all their time scouting for them. And you know that when you're playing against Rodgers, they're just gonna throw deep. They're running. The funny thing is, everybody's like, oh, they didn't get any help. They didn't get any help, and I'm like, they all like he wants to throw deep, but now if you have a running game, because you know in the playoffs you got to start running. Like once it gets cold, once you get to the playoffs, you got to start running.
More.
And they have a monster running back. They drafted a monster running back, and same for same for like Detroit. It's like they're going to battle, and then they get exposed. Detroit hasn't had a really good running game in a minute, and they're starting to pick it up.
I hate to say this, as much as they keep trying, I guess maybe they had a respectable when they had that year when they had Reggie Bush. And that was probably it. And that's giving them a lot because I hate to say since Barry Sanders, but in all honesty, it was really since Barry Sanders. I think Reggie Bush may have been the last 1,000 yard rusher they had.
Was
But that
Leonard
running back,
Fournette?
that running back they
No,
had, that running back that they had, man, I felt for him, man, when he blew that touchdown, that last catch.
I'm trying to remember the running backs. Like I feel like
Exactly. Then nothing worth mentioning.
I
Nothing
gotta
worth mentioning.
maybe.
They got they got Adrian Peterson now, who I thought should have been in for that second and final play where that rookie running back missed the catch. He had it right in his hand, and he turned around. If he did, I think if he didn't turn around to see that he was in the end zone, he probably would have just had more control of the ball and scored. But man, that kid, I felt for him, but it's either going to be that it's going to help him in the future, or that could really just destroy his whole career. But again, like with Detroit had no business losing that game, none whatsoever. I still don't trust Chicago. I still think Mitchell Trubisky is going to be trash. But Detroit, man, that was they they blew that. This was their chance to do something.
I remember a couple
And
years ago. You remember a couple years ago they said, "Well, you do fantasy football," and it's like, "Yo, they said this year is gonna be the year that homeboy might get the MVP." Like last year, they was like, "Yo, he's gonna get MVP." I'll never forget that. Like I that was like one of the coldest things I seen.
he's always, and again, him, like I said, he's a great. Matt Stafford is a great fantasy football pickup, but on your team, something just doesn't click. Something just
Yeah,
doesn't click with Detroit, and I can't blame it on Green Bay all the time. I'm thinking it's them, and I do say this is going to be their coach is going to get fired at the end of the season. He's not going to make it.
nah, yeah, he's out.
He's done.
Yeah,
He's done. He's done. He's
he's
done.
out. I mean, I feel for him, but he's out.
Yo, they showed his record. Matt Patricia is 9-23-1 for his seasons there. 9-23.
I know this is really messed up, but I swear to God, I just don't like how he looks. I just don't like his face. I don't like I feel really bad, and I should be a better person, like a Christian for God's sake. I shouldn't feel that way, but I look at him and I swear to God, I just like he looks like he's smug. Like he looks like he's gonna grow up to be a hoarder, and like I just can't stand that guy, man. I'm really looking at the numbers of the running backs of Detroit. It's crazy. Like I remember some of these names: Jaquee Bell, it just struck with me. Jaquee Bell, like Javed Best. I mean, my man had like crazy concussions, and now he's like
Mhm.
he's a sprinter. Like I'm really just going, but keep going. It's like I just couldn't believe how many running backs they went through. Um,
Ever
Crazy.
since, ever since,
There we
and
go.
I don't know if they just, when they got Matt Stafford. I think after the whole, Barry retired, Joey Harrington, all those guys had to go. They just had so much belief in the passing game that they just really didn't really look too well in the running game, and that's been their disaster since. And I really think if they're going to do this, they need to just give up on actual runners and just get extra blockers. Just get running backs and fullbacks that just block and just air it out all the time. Don't even do
I,
the run.
I don't understand. Sometimes I don't
Get Adrian
understand.
Peterson. I don't understand why.
No matter who they have. I just don't. Sometimes I just don't understand. Is like, all right, I get it. You want to have the fancy name and the flashy stuff, but it's like you need a good line. Like there's just no way around it. And like a lot of these just don't have good lines. Like in
Yeah.
a lot of teams just do well with an average quarterback and they have a great line. Like like I,
Mhm.
it's like Cam. I don't know if like, but a lot of these running backs, I don't know if they have a line or not. But like when you have a pure pocket passer, like what's his name? Like Philip Rivers is not a mobile person, so he had great he had a great
Yeah,
line and a decent running
mhm.
game, but he was blessed to have a good.
Decent. He's had some pretty amazing running.
So is
Mhm.
LaDainian Tomlinson that great, or just he had a great line because he was behind Phillip Rivers for so many years? Same for and same when he went to the Jets. Like they had a great
No,
line.
he
So
still had a good season. Yeah, he still had a good
that's what
season
I'm
when he
saying.
went to
So
the
anyway,
Jets.
I digress. So just thinking about that.
I will
I
say
really I
a
really
good line, will make you better. It's hard to judge a running back's line anymore. I think Barry Sanders was the last running back that you could say his line was not that good. You could tell that's a lot of skill he's showing up there. Everybody else outside of probably Adrian Peterson, maybe
uh-huh.
I don't know.
Was a good running back.
Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson was pretty good. He used to bulldoze a bunch of people. Um,
You know my favorite running back. I'm not of all. Maybe of all time is LeGarrette Blunt. Favorite running back of all time. Like my man
the
just
Garrett Blunt.
goes to team after team after team, gets 1,000 yards, and gets Super Bowls. Like he has like two Super Bowl rings. I think he has one with Patriots. I think he has one
And
with the Eagles and with the Eagles.
yeah, that's right. He was with the Eagles team that beat the Patriots.
Favorite
Mhm,
running back of all
mhm.
time. So yeah,
Really, he's
yep.
definitely he's definitely yo. You know what's crazy? When I saw Frank Gore, I was like, he's still in the league.
He actually has three Super Bowls. He has three Super Bowls. Wow, wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Oh yeah, because
crazy.
he had two New England and one with Philly.
Yep. Yeah, he
He's talking
New
about Blunt.
England. He won with New England. Left to go to the Steelers. Went back to New England for 2 years, and then went to the Steelers. I mean, went to the Eagles. So my man
The
just
Eagles. Hmm.
favorite. I mean, 1,000 yards after 1,000 yards after 1,000 yards after
Yeah,
1,000 yards.
he
So
was
anyway, I'm
consistent.
sorry.
He was consistent. Yeah, that's
Monster.
cool. So I put it in there. Russell Wilson is the future to kind of make it a stab at Atlanta and obviously future. Uh, so
Hmm.
Russell Wilson was out there putting in work, man.
Yeah,
He's this guy is the truth, man.
he's
He's
probably
really
the
the
best. I mean, he's the best quarterback. I would say he's the best quarterback in the game. Like he's the most consistent, like established quarterback. I mean, he plays perfectly. He's like he's like the LeBron of football. Like, but not no one can dislike him. You know what I'm saying? Like he runs it, he kills it. He's a monster, and you can't. But he doesn't do anything wrong. Like he's like just a
he's
just nice,
clean.
sweet,
Mhm.
clean guy. No tattoos, curly haired, light skinned fella. I don't see him on any. I don't see him in commercials or nothing. But he's just
I haven't seen
like
him in a commercial in a minute.
he's
He
just
had
a,
one.
like
He had one where he was at that barber shop, but you could tell didn't do his hair.
yeah, he's perfect. I mean, he's a perfect quarterback. It's just he's short. That's the only he's my height, but like he's
No, he's
exactly
actually shorter.
he's five. He's
He's
like
actually
5'11".
shorter. No,
All
and
right,
you're even 6 foot. He's actually.
like
They say
5'10".
he's like, nah, he's like down there with He's like Michael Vick, like 5'8", 5'9" ish.
It's
Where they're
crazy, man.
hiding his height. They're really hiding his height. I don't know why, but to me, I because I think because it's crazy because I had an old football card of Drew Brees where they had him at 6 foot, and then a couple of seasons later they had him at 5'10". So same things happen with Russell Wilson. But I tell you this, that guy knows what he's doing out there, and Seattle's going to be the. And to me, I think with San Francisco losing, I had a feeling that San Francisco season last year was I think it's a one and done. I don't think they're going to repeat like that because I don't trust Garoppolo. I don't believe he's going to be a great quarterback, and I think that's what cost them the game um, yesterday. And I think Arizona's going to get better, which just leaves to me Seattle's just going to take that division. It's theirs for the taking.
Okay, I was
I think they
wondering where
might.
he was
I think
going.
that. Hmm?
I was wondering where he was going. It's like yeah, it's Seattle. It's Seattle. It's
Yes.
like who's and it was funny. There's another person you didn't even mention the last person in this. You didn't even mention the last team. Like you just straight disrespected the Rams. Like it's like whatever. Like man, I don't care about them.
In all honesty, okay, should they have lost last night? Yeah, I do believe it was just the Cowboys being the Cowboys. What do I expect from them? They're consistent 8-8, and they have to blow. They're gonna blow a couple of games. I don't believe in golf. I don't. I like obviously the Donald bulldozes everybody who's in front of him. Um, but them losing their running back, who's in Atlanta, Todd Gurley, too big. Too big of a deal. Too big. He was the only reason they were able to sell and move to LA because he was their pride and joy. It was Todd Gurley's team. Without that, they're going to put everything on golf to run the offense. I don't believe in them. I don't see LAB. Even though I will say the Rams are going to be better to me, I say San Francisco is going to be in the dumps this year. I say LA is going to be above them, Arizona above that, and Seattle. Seattle's going to be one of that little 12-4, 13-3, that that typical year for them. But San Francisco and LA, St. Louis, whatever they are now, uh, they're not going to do that well this year. That's dumb.
We'll see.
That's
I'm
dumb this
curious.
year, man.
I am curious. I mean,
Mhm.
I really am. I really am curious, but just see how this plays out.
Mhm. So let me ask you, the Chiefs. So going back to the AFC West, the Chiefs pretty much did the Chief thing. Do
Yeah,
you see? Are they? A lot of people consider them the Golden State Warriors of the NFL.
yeah,
Do you see them being that repeat team again? Do you really see them having a threat in the AFC?
yeah.
Who you got?
No, you said, do I see them being the repeat? Yeah. I mean, they're gonna win. That's it.
Mhm.
All right. Like, I'm sorry, not to make it bombastic and and sensationalize it, but yeah, they're gonna repeat. Ain't nobody gonna touch them. Like, it's the Raiders are. I mean, I'm a Raiders fan. Raiders are trash. I don't really care. Even if they won, it don't mean nothing. Um, the Broncos are going to be good in 3 years, and the Chargers are trash because of the Chargers is just trash. Yeah, the Chargers are just trash. Like, I don't. So it's just, yeah,
Trash.
they're going to repeat. Yeah, I was gonna say
They
that.
they the Chargers are strangely like they're quietly trying to rebuild,
Yeah,
but
they don't want to
you
admit that.
know
They don't want to admit that they
they
let
admit
go
it.
of their
Yeah,
running. They let go of their running back, but they somehow kept
like
their one wide receiver. I don't know who the other. I don't know anybody on that team other than Keenan Allen. Like, I don't know. I mean, and Tyrod Taylor. Like, I do know
Tyler
that they
Taylor.
draft Tyrod Taylor. I know they picked up Josh Herbert and I think what's his name, Justin or Austin Eckler. That's it. I don't know that team. Oh, and Joey Bosa, but uh, or Nick Bosa. I'm
Yeah,
not
Joey
sure which one.
Bosa. Yeah,
Other than that,
yeah, I know.
that team is a wrap. It's yeah. I'm not going to watch playoffs this year because it's going to be just like football, right? It's just going to be just like it's going to be it was the Warriors versus LeBron or the West versus LeBron. So now it's going to be the
Mm.
Chiefs versus the field. It's going to be the same thing. I mean, it's easy.
You think
It's harder to repeat with football because now the game is seven, but they kept
mm,
everybody. They didn't lose anybody.
everybody
That's what I'm saying. So, like, there's no
and
reason for them not to.
the rookie was actually really good.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that I mean, I feel bad that they lost. I mean, I feel bad that they let go Kareem Hunt, and now he's on a bad team. But that goes to
I
show
mean,
that
they had to,
no, they
they
didn't.
had
But
to, they had
no,
to.
they didn't. What did he? Wait, what did he do? He kicked his girl. Was that
The
him?
No, did he throw a girl out the room or something
Ah,
out of the hotel room?
I
It
don't
was something like
remember.
he literally threw her out. So
But yeah. So I feel. I mean, so wait. So they let go of him. Yeah, like the Chiefs always had one of the best lines because you remember you mentioned Larry Johnson, Priest Holmes, Jamarcus, Jamar, Jamarcul,
just Jamal Charles.
Jamal
No,
Charles.
it's
Like
Jamal Charles.
they've always had great lines, like ridiculous
Hmm.
lines. So it's like they're running. You could throw anybody on that team on running back. Like that would be nice. Latavius Murray, he's a
Williams had
accurate.
100 yards in the Super Bowl.
Who Damian Williams? Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and
bro.
it's quiet as kept. He should have been the MVP.
Bro, it don't even
Yeah,
matter. Like that's just gonna be. It just is what it is.
yeah. Pardon me. So
Okay.
yeah, I got Baltimore. To me, Baltimore should have washed Cleveland. That was a given. But
I
I
feel for Cleveland. I really do feel for Cleveland fans, like from the bottom of my heart. But yeah, I feel for them.
they they're so dedicated, and you would expect that city to have more Cowboy fans. Like that should be the city where everybody like they don't believe in their team,
But
but
I just don't
but they
understand. I just don't understand why they bad. Like you could look at this team. Like, cause I look at lines, I look at that, I look at like
Coaching,
the weird
coaches.
thing. They haven't always had bad coaches. Something else. It's something else. It's just like Washington. Like Washington they have a lot of problems, but they've had decent years. Like Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback, right? And so they had decent years with Kirk Cousins. They had decent years with
Yeah.
RG3. Like I just
Mhm.
don't understand how you can always be bad. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't, it's consistently coach. I couldn't tell you when was the last good coach. Probably yeah, because Holmgren wasn't even their coach. He was the GM. They don't have good coaches. They've constantly got bad coaches or
Yeah,
whatever just doesn't work with them. And because the team on paper is actually really good.
that's what I'm saying.
Hunt, Chubb.
I'm looking at the
So it
coaches
has to be the
now.
scheme because I think if you give that team to Andy Reid or the assistant coach that they was trying to get hired, I think he would work with that offense. But
Yeah,
the the team and the defense is really good too. So on paper, it's just they just can't. I don't know. Maybe it's the uniform. Something about Cleveland. It's something about them that just don't work.
I remember that
That
one
just
year.
doesn't.
I remember that one year when I was like, yo, they were kind of not 1 year. Yeah, well, if I don't, you don't really play games like that. So I don't know if you remember this dude named Peyton Hillis. He was on the cover of
Yeah,
Madden.
yeah.
Anyway, well,
Hmm.
he was on the cover of Madden, and that was just crazy. But what was crazy about it, like that team, he was actually nice in that team, and that team had, I think,
Hmm.
him. That team had Jerome Harrison. That team had what's his Colt McCoy when he was coming out of school out of Texas. He was nice. That
Hmm.
team was legitimately not garbage. And yet, for some reason, like 2012, so darn near, was it 2020? 18 years ago. Oh, wait, 2020, 8 years
Hmm.
ago, that team was actually decent. It's just, I don't know, it's just sad. This is really sad.
It's just not. It's got. They have to get a coach, and I'm worried that a good football coach is scared to go there. Like somebody who's qualified who will be there. I think if their current coach doesn't last the season or next season, they gotta hire that the assistant coach from the Kansas City Chiefs. That has to be the job for him. He knows
Bro,
Kareem Hunt. He knows the offense. He has the skill. He knows how to work a amazing wide receiver. Because maybe, and I don't think Cleveland's offensive line is trash. I really don't. Like it's just some. It's just I think it's just coaching. They need new schemes. They just need a whole new just schemes and setups for them because it's just not working for them.
bro, I can tell you this
You know.
roster. It wasn't bad. It was not a bad roster. It was a good Madden team.
Mhm.
Anytime
I remember
they
Peyton
made
Hillis before, because I believe he was before McCaffrey. He was the last white running back to get 1,000 yards, and it was like a big deal. Because before that, he was the last. Because before him, it wasn't until since John Riggins.
mm,
So yeah, I remember Peyton Hillis really well. And I think he played for the Giants too. I think he ended up playing with the Giants like a season
he
or
did.
two.
Yeah, he did. After them,
Yeah,
he went to the Giants.
yeah.
Well, eventually,
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
So I remember that squad pretty well. But Cleveland, what happened to them Sunday was just a massacre. I think they were the worst team. I think they probably were the worst team on Sundays on the games.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
they scored
yeah,
6 points, like 6 points, like
yeah. They
six
were
points.
clearly the worst team. They were clearly the worst team. They were clearly the worst team. So
Horrible.
I have to bring this up to you. I know we were. This was supposed to be the year before COVID. All of us was hoping to have a plan of going to visit the Raiders' new stadium. So,
Mm,
but I will say they won. They held it. They held themselves down. They beat Carolina. So what you think about the LV Raiders? Verse and honestly, I hate that they left Oakland,
yeah,
but I don't mind them as Las Vegas. I think they fit. I think they fit the Vegas Vegas vibe.
being in
For
Vegas
us
just
who's been in Vegas and not just been in, who actually been around Vegas and not just in the casinos.
Vegas
Yeah,
just
they fit.
feels
I call
Vegas
them the
feels
North Las
dirty.
Vegas. The
Vegas
North Las
feels
Vegas.
Vegas feels dirty and sleazy and all of
They're
that.
the
So,
they
but
they're Fremont Raiders.
no, all right. So, all right. Hold on. One second. Hold on 1 second.
Mm.
All right. So, all right. How would I? Okay. And forgive me, as someone who, doesn't have children. As someone who doesn't have children, I say you please. I have to apologize for what I'm about to say because it's going to sound really, really bad, and it's just specifically around kids. So, as a Raiders fan, being a Raiders fan for me feels like I have a child with special needs, and I love them, absolutely love them. But I don't I don't expect much from them. I don't. I'm happy when they just get their homework done. I'm happy when they finish their test. I'm happy when they keep their room clean. I'm not expecting them to be some sort of genius, or I'm not expecting them to, like, I don't know, put together a 3,000 Lego piece. I'm just like, hey man, look, just live your life, be a normal citizen. And so whenever they give me weird glimpse of like genius, I just want to stop it. Like, just stop it. That's not you. I don't want you getting your hopes up. I don't want people getting their hopes up. And I gotta explain to them like,
Emery,
well, I'm
this
just
is
saying.
exactly why I wanted to do the show with you. You,
I'm just saying, bro. I just
blunt
don't want it.
truth, real talk.
That's the
It's
Raiders.
evil, it's hardcore, but it's
It's
evil
not
as
messed
hell.
up. It's just like I'm just saying.
That will be the headline. That's going to be the headline for this episode.
What, like special need? Like Raiders are a special needs
No,
child?
beat it. I would. I would thought you would say that about the Cleveland Browns, but
No, but you asked me about the Raiders. I'm telling you, it's like that.
yeah.
That's how I feel about a kid. All right, you're not supposed to say
Do you
special ed,
think?
but just that kid that's just not smart. Just you just every parent, if you got multiple kids, and I'm sorry, but every parent knows which kid is the dumb one, and it's the Raiders. Raiders are my dumb child, and I'm just happy when they get a 70 and pass. All right, and so when they get a 90, I'm not gonna start expecting like that 2000 I think 16 year, and they went like 10 and
Mhm,
6, and the only team I was afraid
mhm.
of was the Patriots. That was the only team I was afraid of. Like, yo, the Raiders may make it to the playoffs. And then Derek Carr broke his leg, and I was like, it's a wrap. And so for me, I
Yeah,
was
and when they
like,
went to the playoffs,
and everybody and their mother was like, oh wow, this is what they are now. I was like, nah, man, don't put that out there. Don't make people expect that. That's not smart. Let's leave them where they are. Let's keep us at our happy 6-10, 8-8, because so it is what it is.
and honestly, I'm expecting those numbers from them. I'm expecting them around that same range this year, 6 and 7, anywhere between 6 and 7 and 8 and 8.
Because they're not competing with it. Doesn't it makes no point to I, well, football is different. Football is different. Like dynasties and football don't really exist the same way. Like it's like being on the Clippers during that whole Golden State run. Like it's nice that you was good. You wasn't gonna
Mm.
make it anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, you got your money up and you put yourself in the Hall of Fame, but you're gonna get a ring. Or being on the East when during LeBron's era, like it's great that you. Okay, I'm trying to think of a team that was good that LeBron, like Boston. Like oh no, Boston made the risk. I'm trying to think of another
Oh,
team.
Toronto.
Mm, they won the one
He,
seed. No,
they was, yeah. Once he left,
all right, so Toronto, right? Like
it
look at
went like
Demar.
what 3 straight years?
Yeah,
What
but
three straight years where they kept losing to him?
not, but like a team. All right, so be good. I know this sounds really bad. So trying to be good when you have no chance of getting to that point makes no sense to me. I mean, it makes sense, but it's like you're trying to be good when you have no chance of getting to the playoffs or no chance of winning to the. It's like it's nice for your Hall of Fame numbers, or it's nice for your stat boosting. So when you're trying to get your contract, you ain't getting the ring. It's not saying what's the point, but it's just like why root for why root like at what point do you stop rooting for the team once you know that they're just gonna falter to the best team in the league? That's what I feel like. Like being a Jets fan doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. Like it's why even if the Jets go 10-6 and they were nice, they were good, but like you are just rooting for your child to lose to the really smart like kid in the spelling bee. Like he's not gonna win. They're going they're gonna mess up on like a word like severance. You know what I'm saying? While the winner is gonna like
Yeah.
destroy them on disestablishmentarianism. So it's like just don't even put them in don't even put them in the contest. Don't even put them in the contest. That's how I feel about it.
Yo, man, I understand. It's Falcon. I understand. It's Like I
Only
tell
your
people,
conference is
everybody who's
different.
listening to this. Now, like everybody, I say this every year with the NFC East. All you need is 9-7.
Yeah,
If you
y'all.
get 9-7, because
Yeah, y'all
everybody's
is.
going to battle through it. It's a constant 9-7, 8-8, seven and
Yep.
nine, 6-10, or somebody goes really bad, which is typically it could. It'll probably be I thought it was going to be Washington this year, but after what they pulled yesterday, I don't even know.
Mm,
It's either going to be, I don't know what the Giants are doing okay so far. So,
mm.
but and it should be, but then between Dallas and Philly, you don't know who's going. It's always going to be a battle through, and the team who usually ends up winning the conference loses to the worst team in the conference. So, the Giants, like I said, it's a battle to 9-7. Whoever wins 9 wins in the NFC East is at least a 12-win team in another conference because
Bro,
they battle too much with each other. So, do I think the Giants have the season? No, because I think this is a year we're going to really see Daniel Jones, do it, air it out. They're giving him the keys, see how they work with everything. I still hate that they don't have Odell. I really wish he was on the scene, but Ingram is good. Gotta see how Shake is doing too. Is okay so far. So
who?
what's going to happen with
Oh,
Saquon
Saquon.
Barkley.
Yeah. Who's your
Mhm.
receivers other than
Uh, Ingram and
I can tell you,
what's
it's
the other kid's name?
Daniel Slayton, and Golden Tate,
Yeah, and Golden State. That's right.
and he's
Okay.
hurt,
hmm
bro. I be,
So
listen. I don't like jumping out the window with crazy thoughts. I do a lot of thinking, a lot of looking. I overthink it,
mhm.
and then I just sit back and be like, I'll be right. What I gotta be better at as a person is not saying stuff like just like, all right, what I was right, and instead of being arrogant, I was right. Just like just just feel good that I was in the right direction. So your point about the winner of nine, um, was perfect. Whoever wins nine is going to be there. And you remember that one year where
Yeah.
everybody's like, "Oh, this is going to be the Eagles team, Eagles conference for the foreseeable future," and then Eagles is garbage. And then and you might as well just eat the food, bro. There's no point in even hiding it. And then Eagles is going to win. But then now it's like it looks like it's the Cowboys team, but the Cowboys are perpetually like 8-8, 9-7. So the one team that I think that might legit do something. I mean, the one. Well, all right. The one team I'd be afraid of is the Cowboys and or the well, not the Redskins, but the football team, the Washington football
Yeah,
team,
them now.
because I like Ron
It was
Rivera.
hilarious. It was hilarious watching channel Fox Sports, and they was trying so hard not to say to keep calling them the Washington football team.
Who do you think they're gonna call him? Who do you think they're gonna name him? I mean, I was just working out with the dude today talking about that. He's like, I was like, I'm if you want to keep the R, just call them the Red Tails. But I doubt the NFL, I doubt the fan base will ever let them do that.
They allow that.
A
I
black
say
a,
go
a
with the
black
Warriors.
a black
Keep with the
military
Warriors.
team? Nah.
You keep the emblem that they have right now with the W on it. Keep
The
the colors.
Washington Warriors?
I say
Nah,
go with the Warriors. I don't.
that's a trash
Why
name. Even
not?
though Golden State, that's a trash name.
We got the Washington Wizards. The Washington Wizards are played 10 minutes from there, so
Yeah, but they call them the Washington Wizards because
it's
they didn't
better.
want to stay in
I
Golden
rather them have I'd rather them have that name than one of those political. They have to have a political name to match because they're in D.C., like the Senators or the Nationals or
I
the
say
Capitals. I don't want none of. I want none of that. Like people try to run one of those names,
I didn't even
but
realize
I'm like,
I didn't even realize that's what they did. I didn't even realize it's political. I say Red Tails, but I think they're afraid they're gonna lose money if they go Red Tails because I mean it's a black team.
Red Wings, something. I just I thought they could have came. They really had a hard time coming up with something that hard. I was like, you in DC? I don't know. Call them Mambo sauce, something after DC. the
Yeah,
carry,
I
the
don't know, man.
carry outs, whatever the DC has. But we'll see. We'll see. Because I will say Washington's defense is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. They
Well,
were
yeah,
smacking Carson Wentz up. At first, I
yeah.
was like, "Oh, they about to get killed," and then all of a sudden, I was like, "Whoa,
Mm.
Ooh, I was like, whoa. When I saw Wentz, I think he got sacked like
It,
either 3 out of 4 times, something ridiculous, or something out.
I think he got
It was
sacked like
just,
8 times, man. I think he got sacked like
yeah,
eight
no, it
times.
was like out of 4 plays. It was like out of four
Oh
plays,
yeah,
and he got sacked 3 of them. I was like, yo, this really killing. I said,
yeah.
oh, if Washington hands like this, and Dwayne Haskins has a respectable season, which I can give him. You know,
I just don't
yeah,
know who
some jersey buys, but
I don't know who he's gonna throw to. So that's
yeah. Mhm.
that's what people don't really sleep
Eh,
on. Like
Look,
who's he gonna throw to?
in all honesty, what I'm looking through the NFL right now, most teams don't have a star wide receiver.
No, I don't
There
need
are
a
not that many
star.
great wide receivers right now. Hmm?
I don't need a star. I just
No, but like even
at
a
least
great
somebody
wide,
I know.
like
Mm,
I mean, I'm
you could
looking
if
around like
name
Atlanta,
it.
New
See, name a
Orleans.
team. Name a random team. I could name you their not their star, but their number one receiver. That's the thing. Guaranteed. Name any team. Name any team. Go ahead.
Jacksonville.
Keenan Cole and D.D. Westbrook. Like I know receivers. So like I think to myself like, all right, who is it? So I don't know who their receivers are in Washington. I'm literally on Wikipedia right now trying to find this roster because I have no idea. Yeah, their wide receivers are Terry McLaurin. He's decent. That's it. Like that's kind of scary. Like they have nobody. Like I'm not saying you gotta have a name, but I got at least gotta know who's your number one guy they're gonna
Yeah.
throw to in a
Hmm.
desperate pinch. They ain't got nobody. So that's somebody that's a team I'd be a little worried about. But
Hmm. So
like you can
let's.
people forget my fantasy football kid like it's crazy
You
when
know,
I
I
can win.
didn't, and also you see, I'm not in it this year because I didn't. I don't believe
I'm not
this.
into it. I'm not in it either.
I didn't join in. I said, nah, not this year. I said I didn't think the season was gonna last. I said somebody's going to. I was like, after what was happening with that rookie kid from Seattle who was trying to bring in some girls, I said the season's not going to last. They're going to kick a whole bunch of players out. They're going to
Yeah.
start wild. I think the team that's going to mess it all up is going to be Atlanta. It's going to
I
be
think
Atlanta.
it might be Kansas City because Kansas City they got fans, so that's a whole different
Yeah,
situation.
yeah. That's just, I didn't. I put this on that. What did you think? You know what's crazy is that the NFL without the fans. To me, I'm like, I didn't. It didn't bother me, seeing no fans or little fans. To me, I thought the teams were better. I thought the games I thought were better with no fans in the audience than with the fake, than with the sprinkle of fans we saw like having the Kansas
Yeah,
City game and
I
all these
don't
other
care
things.
about fans. I don't care about fans being there. I don't. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's it. I just
I
don't.
really
I
don't
don't
think it
care.
makes a big difference in the NFL. In basketball, yeah, home court advantage in the NBA is a big difference, but NFL, it really don't. To me, it doesn't. It
I don't.
doesn't.
I don't think
It
it
doesn't
matters.
matter.
I don't
I
think
don't
it,
think it matters
like.
enough. They talk about all the crowd noise, this and that. Seattle. Uh, nah, nah, I don't think it really
I
matters.
mean, I've
Cause,
never played. I never played a professional sport, so I don't know what it's like to have that
mhm,
home court advantage. People root for me. I've never. I don't even know how
mhm.
that feels, but I know like playing in basketball tournaments and like I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't like people being there. I like as least amount of distractions as possible. So
Hmm.
yeah, I don't like people talking to me. I don't want nothing.
Mhm.
So I
No,
don't know, but
we gonna get to that. I wanted to ask you one last thing about the last thing we're gonna talk about the NFL is what you think about Joe Burrow?
I saw a meme today where it said you could see the exact moment where he understood what it means to play for the Bengals, and it was in slow motion, and
Oh man.
it was like and the caption was like you could see the exact moment where his soul left his body, and I laughed. I mean, he's a rookie quarterback, not rookie coach, but like it's his first year, no
Mm,
preseason.
mm,
He played against a team with a decent defense, and all he
mm,
could throw to is AJ Green and old Tyler Boyd. So I mean,
so,
and AJ Green come off an injury. Like
so
what
he's
y'all
not the same.
expect? Yeah, like what y'all expect? Y'all expect them to put
They,
up crazy numbers? Like it's not. They didn't. I mean, but the thing is though, I don't know how that line is, but he does have decent weapons around him. Like he has
my fear about
three solid weapons.
my fear about him is that he's gonna end up being like not Carson Palmer, the quarterback they had before Carson Palmer. I forgot his.
The black guy,
No, no, no. Nah, he's talking way back. There was another quarterback they had that they want that they let go for Carson Palmer, and he took them to the I think it was John Kitna or something.
Oh
But he took
yeah,
them. It
Kidna. I
was
remember
like
Kidna.
yeah, and that he was doing good with Chad Johnson or Chad Ochocinco 85, whatever his name is this week. Uh, and I think that's Joe Burrow. I think that's where he's going to end up with him and AJ. They're going to be better than they were with the quarterback they had last season. But I don't. I think yeah, what I saw Sunday was what you're going to expect from them. He's going to struggle. He's going to have a whole lot of those. There's going to be a whole lot of those. He might,
Mm.
and at best case scenario, he's going to end up being like Philip Rivers was with the Chargers. Always down 4 points. Always down 4 points. Less of the field to go.
Mm. The
Always
team
down.
that,
Always.
that that team ain't bad. The team's not bad. It's they gonna
I mean,
struggle.
I would say this. Though he had that bad that little flea flicker, that was terrible. But I give that to a rookie. I don't think he's going to do that many of those. But um, I would say I was like, okay, I was like, okay, if he can do this, I can see he's going to have a pretty respectable season, and
Yeah.
I do see he's going to have a very respectable season. So now I want to flip over to the NBA, the um, the playoffs, the playoffs. Now I will say this. You know what? I've always wondered what the NBA would look like without home court advantage, and no team has taken full advantage of that like the Miami Heat. To me, I think the Heat having nobody in the audience, nobody. I think it's helped them. Like they don't have to. They're not traveling. They look, but the closest home team, they're chill. They've taken full advantage of not having nobody around, nobody being in the way, not traveling back and forth. And I honestly think they could honestly sweep Boston.
Um. So I feel like I gotta write this down. So I can see that happening, but I doubt it. Cause all right. So like, look at the starting five. What's the starting five? The starting five for the Heat is Goran Dragic. I don't know who the number two is.
Duncan
Jimmy.
Robinson.
Yeah. All right. Whatever. Duncan Robinson. I'm surprised it's him. I'm surprised it's really him. All right. So Duncan Robinson and not like I don't know the team. All right. Him. And then the three is Jimmy Butler. Their four is who's their four? Is it
Crowder.
that Crowder is their power forward. That's stupid.
Yeah.
And then who's their five?
Bam.
Bam,
Bam.
Bam. All right. So you got that five. You look at the five of the Celtics. If, who's gonna look like Goran Dragic or Kimba? I'd say that's not a wide. I give it a little bit to Kimba.
Hmm.
And then two, who's there two? I think it's Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart.
Hmm.
Marcus Smart is better than Duncan. He can shut him down, I think. But the
You
guy that
think? Nah, I don't think so.
I
That's
think
a
he got.
huge. That's six. That's 6'7" versus 6'2".
That's true. Okay, so that's not. He's not going to shut him down, but he's going to hold him to like maybe 10, 8 points. Now the real one I'm seeing is
Robinson.
Jimmy Butler and the other guy and Jason Tatum is going to be a good matchup. Like I think that's going to be a little bit of a watch. That's 25 apiece, fine. But Jimmy Butler's not scoring. Jimmy Butler isn't a search for some reason. He's just like a playmaker, facilitator, whatever. But then it gets really confusing at the bigs, like because I don't know who the four is. I don't know the dunk that one guy
They
that
they run they run they run Brown and Tatum.
yeah, but who's the 4-5? It's Bam. Bam. I think Bam and Enos Cantor could be a little bit of a push. So I think it's gonna be a big point and guard matchup.
No,
And
it's not Enes Kanter. It's Theus.
These I think
Thies. Yeah,
it's gonna be a good matchup between
that's
the point
Bam.
guard.
Bam is going to wash him.
Yeah,
To
I
me,
think it's gonna be a point guard and big, just like because everybody between 3 and 4 is too close
to
about
me
how
when
the
I
team
look
set up.
when I saw the teams matched up, I said I thought Toronto would give Miami more of a problem, but I said
Oh my God,
because to me, when I saw Boston, I looked at the shooters. Miami, um, Dragic, Robinson, and Tyler Hero and Joe Crowder
I forgot about Tyler Hero.
are are way better shooters than anybody on Boston. I cannot think of a serious shooter on Boston. And
Jason
shooting.
Tatum, Gordon Hayward. What are you talking about?
Well,
I,
and he's been injured. I don't, has he, he's been injured. I
yeah,
don't even sure if he's going to
I don't know
get.
where Hayward is. I
And
thought about that.
Hayward is never going to be Hayward again. It's not coming back. That's
That's
not the
mental.
All Star Hayward. The All Star Hayward is gone.
I always thought he was overrated, but that's You know,
You know what? Now when he was in college that year when he took
bro,
I
we
can't think
talking
of the
about
school right
10
now.
years ago. Butler, yeah, we talking about 10 years ago at this point.
Yeah, Butler. But no, you know what? I had to realize I had to respect his game. I was like, and when he came to the NBA and he started doing this thing in Utah, I was like, yo, he's actually a lot better than I expected.
I'm not gonna be racist, but I'm not surprised that Utah made sure that the white shooter played well. I'm just saying it's Salt Lake City. I
Look
don't
at
know the.
look at Miami's. Miami got the triplets. To me, they're the splash triplets over there.
Oh yeah,
Robinson, Dragic, and Tyler, and Joe Crowder. Joe Crowder has become that one only has his 3 point special is that 3 point specialist.
I appreciate Joe Crowder. Joe Crowder is like a short Andre Iguodala. Just plays defense and shoots.
Yeah, well, and Andre don't really shoot well, but he does what he does. And to me, when I look at that team versus Boston, we had a game with Jalen Brown when like 11 for 30, something ridiculous, and we've had tons of bad games from Jason Tatum and tons of bad games from Kemba Walker. Kemba's going to
Yeah,
get you a couple of 2 for 13 games, even though I think I think he's going to do better against Dragic because Dragic is not really that great of a defender. Kendrick Nunn is better, but I don't think he's going to. They're going to be behind when the Heat start shooting threes, and they're going to shoot threes, and they're going to make a bunch of them. So
you got me
they're going to
looking up the
keep being behind.
you got me looking up the depth chart like out the Miami Heat because I really don't know it. Um, like yeah, I'm still thinking for some reason like homeboy, what's his name? I'm still thinking like Sean Whiteside is still there, which
No,
is
no, he
I,
was in Portland.
I know he's not, but I'm just like, oh wait, is
They
Myers
trade they
Myers
Miles
Leonard
Leonard,
is
yeah,
on that squad? I mean, that's
and he
not
can
who I'm
shoot
thinking
threes
about.
too.
Yeah,
He's better than
he re,
anybody else.
he revitalized his career. This team is not deep. It's not.
But they can shoot. Quiet as kept. They're a
Israel Miles
poor
Leonard,
man. They're a poor man's warriors because their shooters are not. They're not as high octane, but they
Kelly Olynyk,
who could
Solomon
also shoot
Hill.
threes.
Yeah, Solomon Hill. I'm surprised he's there.
Hmm. He
Okay,
doesn't
who's
get
on
much
the?
burn.
No, he
He doesn't
doesn't.
get much.
Yeah. Yo, he was getting passed around so many teams. Like it was a time like it was just like where is
Yeah,
Solomon Hill going to go because
yeah.
his
He was.
contract was so bad.
He was always ended up on somewhere on your fantasy team. Like, oh, he's on a new team this year.
All right, so I'm looking at
Yeah.
okay. No, bro, I think the Celtics are deep as well. Like you got Jason Tatum, Gordon Hayward, Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and then it gets a little bit thin after that. It's not a bad team, but it does get a little thin.
And they don't have as much as people keep trying to hype up Jason Tatum. He's not. He's not going to be enough to carry Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Kemba Walker. You're going to expect two really, really bad games at maximum from them. It's like two
Mm,
really terrible shooting nights from each one
true.
of them. And what's going to happen is two of them are going to have it on the same night, and Miami's going to watch them because that Miami Splash Squad that they got. They're going to have play. I don't expect like Goran Dragic. I think had only one bad playoff game so far. He's really been consistent. Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson is interchangeable. Joe Crowder has been consistent with the threes, and you got Bam just does Bam stuff, and Jimmy Butler has been he could either drop 40 on one you, or then he's going to drop 13, 8, and 7, and just play around the whole game where they just keep beating up on you by 4 points, and you could just never get close. You're either going to be down 4, down 7, you hit a 3, down 4, and they just keep playing around where everybody's moving the ball. And that's what's going to be to me. That's why Miami. I give Boston maybe a game, but on
Mm.
paper. So, and, uh, and so what do you think about? So what do you think about with the Lakers beating Houston? Mike D'Antoni bounced. You think
I
you
think
think
that
he
was
was the
unfair.
problem? I don't think he was
Um,
the problem.
um, his style of basketball never wins in the playoffs to the finals,
I
but
would tell you why that's not
that's
true.
and that's what I'm
I would
saying. That's not really an excuse or anything. I think that here's a hot take. I think James Harden might be the problem
That's not a hot take anymore. I think more people are starting to realize it. I don't think
because
a lot of people are saying that, oh, Mike D'Antoni's offense doesn't get to them. No, that's not true. The problem is that everybody, the teams who are winning championships are running the offense that he created, that he started. Actually, they're doing it even at a higher rate than he did. The problem is that they don't have the shoot. They have the shooters. They don't have the makers.
mm,
They have people who could shoot, 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 shoot. You can't believe in a team with a bunch of 32 and 33% three-point shooters. And that's what they got. Like you with the offense that they run, they need somebody. They don't have a 40% free three-point shooter. They don't have that. Look at their team. They don't. They made Eric Gordon a shooter like that. They're making Austin Rivers shooters like that. They just shoot, but they shoot a lot. They make a lot because they shoot a lot. But if you're going to give a team that shoots 43 pointers and makes 12 or 11 of them, 13 of them, and think that's good, no, they need somebody. They needed if Houston had a Porzingis or even a Joel Embiid, a high scoring, a 3-point shooting big man, they would have been perfect, but they don't, and that's their big problem. Their big problem. They said, you know what, we're just going to scrap the big man and just go all shooters, but they still don't have somebody who's a consistent maker. They try to make PJ Tucker a maker, and he only can make it from the corner. So
yeah,
you move him away from the corner, he becomes no good. So that's the biggest problem with them. I didn't think that D'Antoni was a problem. I think yeah, it's Harden. It's Harden.
yeah.
It was Harden.
I always think it's bad when you have they yeah, everything you said kind of
Because
get it, but
because I'm like,
there's nobody there's really it's hard to. I don't know him. I don't want to talk negatively about the guy, but I look at it. Everybody watches him, right? And but the thing is like it's a difference. I mean, and he leads the league in assists. I just think you have to give him so much room to operate. To your point, that everyone has to be a shooter, but there's
mhm,
no opportunity for anybody to be anything else. And
mhm,
so you create this team of shooters. This team is built like a team that has Shaq, who doesn't have Shaq, in the sense that you have all these shooters, all these corner shooters, all these people that can pull up,
mhm,
but you don't have somebody in the middle because you don't see the need of a big man. And so it's like he can pass, but it's just like they just don't
mhm,
have a solid team. And I don't think the small ball thing was the issue. I just think like you got to have somebody who can complement him, who can shoot, who can score. Like that's why Chris Paul was probably Chris Paul wasn't his best teammate, but probably his best teammate in how he plays now. And he wants to be the man. Like I don't Harden as someone who like he doesn't make his teammates better or anything like that. James Harden is clearly just about he's a stats guy who wants to be the best, but like not to
mhm.
to win. Weird. It's really weird. Like he needed Chris Paul. He should have kept Chris Paul. And
They
look at what
had
Chris
yeah,
Paul did. Look at what Chris Paul at. Chris Paul in the squad killing it. Like he went to the he only pushed him to he almost got him kicked out.
which would have been if he had made that shot. I mean, he had his chance, but he missed the shot. Which, as much as people try to front about being clutch, you make shots at that. To me, shots making and shot making, you can make and miss whenever you can. Just because it's a tight
Yeah.
game, but when he missed that shot, and yeah, I was hurt because it was like I wanted Chris Paul to beat them, but I also wanted Russell Westbrook to get out the first round for once. So, you know, I just said, man, but D'Antoni, he left.
I can't hear you, man. I can't hear you. Your sound is something.
Unstable
There we
connection.
go. There you go.
My apologies. So yeah, that to me they need a 3-point big man. And to me because like I said Houston lost when they had Kevin McHale as their coach. It's the same squad, pretty much the same pieces. James Harden, Eric Gordon, and pieces.
Well,
But
I mean, like if they would get like a Miles Leonard, they'd be good. I mean, Myers
yeah,
Leonard,
my. hmm
they'd be nice. I mean, that's what you're saying. So that's a big thing to say.
hmm I think that's what's missing because they tried they had this rotation of Capella, Kenneth Fareed, Nene, where they had that big man that typical big man that's just in the middle to get rebounds and low post scoring, and it didn't work. It didn't work. So their team needs an outside shooting big man. So I mean, if they could go for it, I would try to make a run for that draft pick. But I don't know if they're going to keep that offense running with their next with whoever their next coach is. Her word is it's supposed to be Sam Cassell. Sam Cassell is going to be the one in the running for that.
And with
Mhm.
diversity, equity, and inclusion becoming a big thing, they better hire somebody black. Like it's sad. Like, I don't like they need to hire an assistant coach who's been doing this, but
Mhm.
I don't. I mean, Sam's never had a chance,
Mhm.
so he might be good. Yeah,
And
maybe. I'm.
he's been assistant. He's been assistant for a very long time. I think he's been assistant since the last year um the Celtics won the championship when they beat LA. I think he's been an assistant coach under Doc since. Yeah, he's been
Yeah,
running under Doc
to be
since.
honest, I don't know what makes a good coach anymore. Um, yeah,
Mhm.
let's leave it at that. I have no idea what makes a good coach. How to tell who's a good coach. I don't understand why the Van Gundy brothers aren't coaching. Um, and I ain't trying to pick. I ain't trying to say, oh, this black coach should be. I really don't give a crap. But it's just like the Van Gundys. I don't understand. Like Mark Jackson, I just don't like Jackson to be considered. But
Mhm.
I don't know. Like he's legitimately a decent coach. Like
Mhm.
I don't I don't
To
know.
me, it's a toss up because everybody says Popovich is a great coach, but then really look at it, they missed the playoffs, last year. So was it him bad coaching or was it the players? Um, I think Spo's a great coach, and I think he could coach. He's shown he could coach anything
Who?
from a great team. Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah, he's low key. I think one of my favorite coaches. I think he, you know what? Of all the NFL, and I'm tired. Of all the NBA,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think he's my favorite coach. To be
Yeah,
honest.
mhm. Coach Coach Bud out of Milwaukee. He's a respectable coach too because he's made nobodies into all stars. Come on, he brought
Yeah.
that. He made Kyle Korver an all star. So with his offense, he makes good teams. It's just something breaks apart. I think Miami just had Milwaukee's number. They were just a team that just had just like Raptors last year. They just had their number. They just had the piece that could outwork. Actually, no, it was that both. I think Toronto ran the same, pretty much a clear defensive scheme like they did, like Miami did this year with which was get the ball, make Giannis get ripped a lot.
Hmm. I
Mhm.
like the guy. If we're looking at coaches, I like the guy in Orlando. I like the guy at Brooklyn. I
Jason,
like
Steve Nash.
not I don't like I like the other guy. I
Oh,
like
Jack Vaughn.
Utah. Yeah, I like Utah. It was Jack
Hmm.
Vaughn. It wasn't Jack Vaughn. It was like Kenny Atkinson. I like him. I like him a
He
lot.
got fired early in the season,
Yeah,
but to
but
me he was a good coach too.
yep. I kind of I don't know about the Phoenix guy. Maybe now. Yeah. What's the name? Black dude.
Monty Williams.
Anyway,
Hmm.
yeah, I like him. I like the guy from
Hmm.
Memphis. I like these underdeveloping teams. Like I like. I'm sorry, these
Hmm.
under like these like overperforming team like Memphis. I love Portland.
Hmm.
I love Terry Stotts. I love me some Terry Stotts.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a interesting. I don't like Doc Rivers. I like Frank Vogel, but I just don't like the Lakers. So
I think to me, I think. Let's see. Is the game on today? Oh no, it
probably.
was last night. I don't know if Denver. I don't know if Denver's. I don't know if the Clippers are going to make it. And I don't know. Do you keep Doc Rivers if they don't make it this year with the Clippers?
Yeah,
Do you keep him? Do you
yeah,
keep
cause
him? Because to me, I have a
yeah.
fear is that if the Clippers if they miss out this year, they'll be like the Heat when they had the big three. They can miss out this year and they explode the next season because they're so mad about messing up this year. So I
Yeah, you
really
keep
don't
him.
think.
Why
But
would you?
I
Why would
think they're
you?
going. If they lose to Denver, especially losing 3-1, I think Rivers is going to get gone.
Nah, you don't get that team was phenomenal without Paul George and Kawhi. Then you got to adjust to both of them. Now you make a good point because you look at Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse came in, got him, lost him, and that team was still good. But then it's like
Mhm.
look at all the work that Dwayne Casey did. So it's like, Nick Nurse might be maybe on that sort of Steve Kerr. Like, look at all that work that
Mhm.
Mark Jackson did, and all of a sudden you come in. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't get rid of him because who you gonna put there? Who the heck you gonna put there?
Oh, I got the name. Ready?
Willie Green? Willie Green? Like, what you want?
Mike D'Antoni.
Nah, because they don't move fast enough. It would be a little bit. They don't. Nah, I mean, whatever. But I don't know. I just don't see it. I just you don't get rid of
Mike
like Doc.
D'Antoni, you Mike D'Antoni will force. This is a team you could actually say Mike D'Antoni has defensive players, and it'll give Kawhi and Paul George a whole offensive bundle package of them shooting that they can have. So
See, now you got me looking like, where the heck is Willie Green at? Where
no,
Willie Green?
I think he's on the Clippers.
He was, but like,
Mhm.
all right, go ahead. I'm sorry. You go into the
Mhm.
next topic. I'm just, oh, he's an assistant coach with the Suns.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He left.
All
I didn't know
right.
he left the Clippers. Wow.
I know. I think he probably left around. I thought he was there after Chris Paul, but now I'm thinking about it. I don't remember him last year on the Clippers. That's the last team I remember him on. I remember on
I
the Clippers. I didn't.
I appreciated Willie Green. Man played in the league 12 years. He would get numbers. I appreciate
Yeah.
them.
Consistent, really strong, really good jumper shoot. Let's see. So do you think Denver could pull this off?
Yeah, I mean, also, this bubble stuff don't mean anything in terms of like, there's no like absolutes in terms of players. Like, I so like Denver is just young and spry and energetic and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Like, I think that's like one of the youngest. That's the youngest team in the NBA. Like, they could
Hold
surprise
on.
everybody.
hmm
So I said they could win it.
Yeah, I think I don't want Denver to win because I don't want Doc to get fired like this, and I kind of still want to see this Lakers Clippers final Western Conference Final. But I, I want that. I'm kind of wanting Denver to win. I want Michael Porter Jr. to do it. I want Michael Porter Jr. to be the man to shut them to do it to lead the way.
Mm. I
But
doubt it. I mean, I
well,
the thing is that team is not deep.
You think Denver's not deep?
Oh,
I think they're actually pretty deep. My problem is that I think Jamal Murray's just been getting too. It's just been doing too much. I don't know what happened to Gary.
he's
I don't
not a
know what
point
happened to
guard. He
Gary.
is not a point guard.
Yeah, he's a
he
two. He's a scoring two.
he's a ball dominant two guard, and that's what kind
Yeah.
of frustrates me about him. Like, no, bro, I'm looking at their squad right now. Like, okay, yeah, you got the Joker, Jamal, Michael Porter. You got Bol who doesn't play. Gary Harris, okay. Jeremiah Grant is whatever. Paul Millsap, sure. See, then they start getting like interesting where you got the Bill Barton, the PJ Dozier,
Mhm.
Mason Plumlee. I don't say that they're deep. I think I got Noah Vonleh on it. Jesus. They're not.
I
Yeah, I
think he's
mean,
injured. I think he's injured or something. I haven't seen him.
either way, I mean, I don't know if they're deep,
Mhm.
deep. Like, but yeah, deep is relative. I don't like Clippers. And no, they only play. Everybody only plays
8 players.
what? Yeah, so at that strength of 8 players,
Mhm.
that's when the Clippers are a better team.
Yeah,
They getting
yeah,
beat by they're just getting beat
but
by
it's
young
just
legs.
yeah, yeah. To me, I think Denver. If Denver could get Paul Miss like they won last night, where they got Millsap, Gary Harris involved. Who to me like last season, those were the players on the team. Like I wasn't even checking for Jamal Murray last year because I was like Gary Harris, Paul Millsap, and Joker were the squad last year.
Hmm.
Was that Denver squad. But this year, I was like, yo, Paul Millsap. I don't know if he's hiding an injury or something because he hasn't really been, the Paul Millsap that I've come to be accustomed to. And Gary Harris, he's not. I don't know. I don't know if it's just been because Jamal Murray's been getting the ball so much, but Gary Harris kind of been MIA. He hasn't been the
Hmm.
player that I expect him to be. Um, but yeah, I want them to pull it off. I do want the upset special. I do want the upset special to see that. But then if they win, then pretty much everybody's going to say that the Lakers are going to the finals.
Yeah.
So, so do you think? So would you? Do you think? So do you think you got this? It's strange because with these finals coming up, this could be really interesting. I could see if Boston beats and go faces the Clippers, that'll be they like all these finals mix-ups could have a good, interesting lineup as long as Clippers win. Like Doc Rivers versus could play Boston. That they have a storyline for that. You could have the big storyline would be Miami versus LA. That'll be the major storyline right there. But then you got some other ones like I could see Lakers obviously versus Celtics would be another major headline. Um, and then yeah. So if
I,
Denver could pull this off, if Denver pulls the biggest upset up special, Denver versus Miami or something like that. So
it would
if
be like one
Denver,
of the most least watched like finals. So I mean, people
yeah,
are already watching the NBA less for various reasons, social just reasons. They don't like the names on the jersey. But then you have a no name play. Like if you have like Denver versus, I mean, I barely will watch it. I barely watch playoffs. And I know I should. I just, but I'm watching the games now. But like, yeah, man. I mean, Denver versus like Denver. I mean, let's say it's a forlorn conclusion that the Lakers make it. Right? We shouldn't assume, but let's assume Lakers make it. Right? Whatever. And then you got who's after that? And then who's in the East still? Like, oh, let's say Lakers in.
Miami and Boston.
I'd watch Miami. Um, Miami, like LeBron's old team. Yeah, I get your point. I still think the Lakers are going to win. I think I want the Lakers to win just so we can say that it happened. I don't care anymore. LeBron won a championship 3 teams, and
Hmm.
now we can just open up the league to everybody else because
Hmm.
he's like the only one still playing. Like he's the only one of the guard of the 2010 guard who's still playing. Like KG retired, Paul Pierce retired, Steve Nash
No,
retired.
you
Like,
got you
well,
got a few. Melo.
Melo doesn't count. Melo doesn't count. And I swear to God, I told everybody. I don't know why I'm so angry, but like I told everyone in their mother, like Melo was gonna be the Clyde Drexler. Melo was gonna get join a team that was on the rise at the tail end and scoop in and get a championship. Pissed off it wasn't the Lakers. Didn't make sense it wasn't the Lakers. But like I knew that was gonna happen. Like he was just gonna jump on somebody and it was gonna win. So like he doesn't count because he's a contributor, but his team is trash. But like but I say, yeah,
Portland,
once LeBron,
Portland, Portland's
once
problem
LeBron's
is they
done,
have a short point. They got a short backcourt. They
that's
they
their
got no
that's their
height,
that's their problem though.
and they keep trying to. They got Portland's also issue is their is loyalty because they're too loyal to CJ McCullough. They need
And Dame,
somebody, and they need somebody. They need a 6'6", somebody 6'6", 6'7", 6'5", somewhere around there. And they need, and they first of all they should have got Melo years ago.
yeah.
I think Melo about 3 years ago would have put them over when they kept battling versus Golden State. But Melo did his thing. Well, he averaged about 16 points this year, shooting around the
So
same typical numbers. So
I'm just trying to think of their team. Like, yeah, everybody's big.
I,
Like
mm,
they're small. They're back. That even they're I don't. And Melo was their starting. If Melo's their starting small for, yeah. I mean, do you get rid of CJ McCullough? Do you make him a point guard? What do you make him a point guard?
he gotta go. He gotta go. He gotta go. They gotta trade him.
Where
He gotta go.
where to where? Who has assets who can because he's paid like I think like 20 mil right now, which is pretty low. But
Hmm.
like where you know?
If what they're saying is happening, I would try to look into OKC. And I know most teams don't like to trade into in the same conference, but I would try to go after like um SGA,
What's that? Oh
Gilgis
nah.
Alexander.
Mm, then what's the point? Then you're doing the same thing. I mean,
He's taller.
yeah, but he's a point guard too.
No, he's a two.
Yeah, but but he's a like so if you want someone taller, make CJ the primary ball handler. I don't see him as a willing passer enough because he just okay, all right. This is gonna
He
sound
plays
bad
with
too.
Dame. So
This is gonna sound pretty bad. So up with me. Dame, no, CJ, and I knew a girl who went to school with CJ at
Mhm,
Lehigh.
mhm.
Like he was a man because he started playing ball and got good or whatever, right? CJ is like that girl who was not really attractive, but like, when they was younger, but then like when they got teenage, they developed and they became pretty. And
Mhm.
for some reason, that got to their head and they got arrogant and they got full of themselves. And usually when those sort of things happen, certain activities follow. And
Hmm.
I think CJ is that girl who developed and found out that she was pretty. Because you remember that year he came in, he was doing like 7 points a game. It was like, oh, this
Yeah.
guy's trash. And next thing you know, the next season he goes up 13 points 13 points to become the most improved player, and now CJ is the man, right? That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. So CJ, just like that person, is like, oh, I'm pretty, and I'm developed. I
Hmm.
ain't I'm the best out here. He don't get a ball up. He just want to chuck it up. He's good. He's good. But like that's what he is. Like he's a chucker. He's a I like him. I do like him. But like so when you think about it, you got to put him on a team that can handle that can handle somebody who he's like Lou Williams, like those Lou Williams players. Like they just a scorer. They just a bucket getter. And it's like
Hmm.
I don't think
The
you can.
underside, the undersized two guard.
Yeah, but it's more than that. It's more than that. It's really about like we play ball. Like I can't stand playing players who always have to do everything, in which I find myself having to watch. Because Melo started to watch. Nurkic, Yusuf Nurkic, he started to watch. Hassan Whiteside
Mm.
started to watch. The person who
Yeah.
doesn't have who isn't told to watch is Damian Lillard. You put him on like Philly, right? I think it'd be a little bit better. Like, cause you got Dame, cause what's the name? Cause all you gotta do is like when, cause you know that homeboy can't shoot, right? And
Yeah.
so
Then
pass, move, move,
that could
move. All right,
work.
I'm
That
stuck.
could work.
Here you go. Like,
That could work.
cause
And then
yeah,
and then they got and then Philly has a 6'6" two guard, which could be a good trade about Jason Richardson. They could trade. That would be a pretty respectable
he can
trade
shoot.
because
He
I
can shoot.
and he can shoot
Yeah,
and he doesn't
yeah.
ask for the ball as heavy, so that could give Dame, Dame the ball more. And if they keep Melo, which I think is going to happen,
Cause
surprisingly.
they need somebody who can drive the ball, who could take the ball in too, instead of just always chucking it up. And like,
Mm.
I don't like Jason Richardson. He's a chucker. But I like people who can actually control. Like I like Jimmy Butler can take it in. I'm trying to think of players. There's not many players now who's good like drivers. Like Lillard needs like a Wade, someone who can control the
Mm.
paint, who can go in, who gets fouled a lot. I just can't. I don't know. If your point guard is a shooter, he shoots all the time. He shoots everything from the logo. Great, but you need somebody who can get fouls. And there's not that many players. Like I'm literally like I'm looking away because I'm like scrounging, like looking at like
You know who's that
who's
player?
not a ball dominant player who can get fouled a lot, who can drive lane. Who?
But he's ball dominant. It would be James Harden. James
Yeah,
Harden is that
so
player.
someone who doesn't
He
have
gets
to
a
be ball
line.
dominant.
Yeah,
Like
dominant.
like you put like Dame with like Donovan Mitchell. I
Jimmy.
think he's all dominant, but like you take it away.
Yeah.
Like if you take the ball away, like how can he still succeed? Like I gotta look
Mm.
at the entire league. I mean, wait, go ahead, you talk, because I'm about to look at
Maybe the players I think that could work won't go. Like I think
Andrew
Bradley
Wiggins
Beal.
could do it,
Bradley Beal could work.
Bradley Bill
I,
could do it, Andrew
and he's
Wiggins
already
could do
used.
it,
He's used to playing with John Wall, so he should be used to Dame Lillard.
and
Um,
Brandon Ingram, um, DeMar DeRozan. Like
mm,
I'm really looking at all these players now.
DeMar
Uh,
DeRozan.
he
DeMar
ain't going there
DeRozan.
though. He ain't gonna go there.
And I don't think
Um,
I don't think CJ will work with Pop with the Spurs either.
I mean,
I
I
think
don't think so.
CJ is going to end up like
Atlanta got a lot of. They can you go to Atlanta. See, but then you got him
but
contending with Trey Young.
which is pretty much again another CJ. I mean another Dame. They're
Yeah,
all in the same. They're all in that same boat.
I think Bradley Bill is probably like the most realistic money wise. Like
Hmm.
they got all they could just dump people there. Um,
I think you're fit.
Victor Oladipo, he's not ball dominant.
Mm,
Um, yep. Okay.
that could work. That could work too. And he plays way better defense.
So okay. All right. My bad. So yeah.
Mm,
You go. You go next. My bad.
let's
I'm just
see.
thinking about it.
I like this kid, but I think he needs to be. I think he could work too, but I think a lot of people don't give him the credit he deserves. Zach LaVine out of Chicago.
Um,
I think he
I
could
have
work with
no.
Dame.
I,
I think he's a player that he needs to, which that everybody thinks he's trash because he's on a bad team, but he's like a good player on a bad team that needs to be on a better team.
um, I
He
think
gets
he's
he attacks. He's a driver, and he
yeah,
has a
maybe
killer
he
jumper.
probably be good there. He probably be good there. Yeah, you're right. He'd be good there. He'd be good there. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's about it. Like, yeah, okay, that's a good one. That's good. I forgot about him. I was looking. I
Yeah, because
literally
he's
looked
on
at
a
the
trash
Bulls.
team. He's on a
I
trash
looked at
team.
I looked at the Bulls and I was like, no. I mean, they're subject of coaching too. That's their coaching because you got Kobe White who is good. Let me look at that squad.
He's very good. He's very good.
All right, he's okay. He's
No,
okay. You
oh
got
no, he was
Kobe
a help on
Wright.
my fantasy team.
You got Kobe Wright. You got Zach LaVine. Otto Potter Jr. who's
Hmm.
overrated, but he's good.
Yes.
Laurie Marketing, and you got Wendell Carter Jr. Like their starting five is good, but they have no depth aside from Chris Dunn, who I think is underrated.
I think Chris Dunn gives
No, he's under.
he gives you what he gives you what he gives you.
He's perfect way to explain it. Okay.
Mhm. So, but yeah, I think they should make I think Zach Levine, but I think he wants to be dedicated to Chicago. So the same thing, like I would say the same thing with Devin Booker. He wants to stay in Port. He wants to build Portland, and I mean Phoenix. And he is to me, I'm like he should have been out of there. He should have
Yeah.
been out of there. That's he needs out of there. So that's not working for him. But I would see if he could get out of there and gone to Portland, that would work. But Phoenix to me are they're going to continue to be a building. Like they're continuing to be building. Like they they haven't been this. They're just always going to be a building piece away. And I think the league they're not going to. I think they believe like them Atlanta think like they're going to be the team in a couple of years where, everybody's going to be but that everybody they're going to be the one to push the next the older generation out. But to me, I'm like these teams. Some of these teams are still very young. So to me, Golden State is not old, and they're going to be back next season.
Mm.
Um, you know, they're going to knock out whoever was eight. Portland to me, Portland. I don't know if they're going to be better next year. I think so. Depends on what they do. Um, you know, I, I don't think Phoenix is going to make that leap yet. I don't know. They have they did crush the bubble, but I think they were undefeated in the bubble if I
They
can
were.
recall.
Yeah, they were. They
Yeah.
were.
So, but was it who they were playing? Was it because they were no longer in Phoenix? You know, I don't know if you remember that old Charles Barkley bit when he was talking about how terrible it was in the arena,
Mm.
how bad it was in there. Is it because they were away from there? Wasn't them being focused?
Mm.
But you know, but do I see them unless something bad happens with the West next season, which is, you know, I I think some teams are going to improve next season. Like I think Memphis is going to be a problem next season. I think Memphis is going to be the team that Phoenix wants to be next
Yeah.
season. I think Memphis is going to be the killer team next year. I like their squad.
Yeah. That's just gonna be something to watch out for.
Yeah, them. I don't know about New Orleans. I don't know about them because I don't think I got a fear that Zion is going to consistently be injured, and I hate to say this, but I have a fear that he's going to be the way he plays is asking for a major injury.
Mhm.
It's asking for
Yeah.
another major injury. So, that I mean, everybody's scared when he come bulldoze down the lane, but the high flying act of that game, he needs to
Yeah.
he has to develop a jumper. He has to develop a jumper, which is kind of crazy because I remember, Blake Griffin was that player like that. He was always jumping in the air, dunking on everybody. But then, quite as kept, he became a real good outside shooter.
Well, he learned to play better too. Like players
Mhm.
that it's like I enjoy watching players who are just focused on physicality. Like when
Mhm.
I think about like, and I'm not a player or whatever. I just think about like you got to work well with what you have, and so yes, if you like, I think if I play ball, yeah, I could just body over everybody and do whatever I need to do. But like if you don't learn how to be successful in other avenues or outsmart situations, then people will learn you are a trick pony and they will shut that crap down. Like
Mhm.
I remember, I
Which
remember, I
which what
remember
happened to
watching.
Giannis. I think
I
that's what
remember
happened to Giannis.
I remember him watching him play, and he just pushed somebody over and just tried to go for a dunk, and he got an offensive foul. He sent the person careening into the almost stands, and I was like, so do you have any? I'm not saying you need to have your stuff, but do you have a spin? Do you have a pump fake? Do you have? He has no footwork. He has none whatsoever. And so I watched him play, and I was like, yeah, man, he could just jump out the building. But
Mm,
but like to your point, he's going to get injury prone. And like
mm,
I think like when I think about my favorite point guards and favorite players, the players who don't focus on the athleticism, but their skill comes like Luka is a great player. I love to watch because he's so smart and so skilled.
mm,
Chris Paul is like my favorite point guard because he's so smart and so skilled. But like we forget when he was athletic. Like he is. I remember when he dunked and it was like, oh, I was like, wait.
mm,
We forget that he's a fit guy who can do these things, but he
mm,
doesn't. But like, what I don't like watching Russell Westbrook. I appreciate his athleticism and the fact that he's still athletic as so many years, but it's starting to slow down. If you watch it, it's slowing down. But like you got guys like Derrick Rose, that just goes away. Like that athletic unnecessary stuff goes away so quick. So I'm like, but Derrick Rose got good once he realized I can't jump out the building. Now I got to
yeah,
start playing
yeah, work
smart.
on my jumper.
Let me work on my jumper. Let me work on my passing. Like he
Mm.
became a better passer because I was like,
Yeah,
I
a
would always make it.
way better passer.
But I would always make the joke about Derrick Rose not my favorite player because like the only time he would pass is when he couldn't figure out what to do when he's in the air. So
Mm.
like, but now when you can like be there in the
Which is
triple,
which is the James Harden Russell Westbrook thing.
that's what I'm saying. So if you can now, but
Mm,
once you start learning what you need to do, and it's like, all right, let me set up plays, let me watch what the defense is doing, like let me be more deliberate with my dribbles. Get if you know you're good when you can get your player behind you and you're facing the rim. Like you like
mm,
I just got you behind me, and I just go straight up.
yeah.
So, but yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about that.
I think we did a good show, man. I think
I'm
this is a good
tired.
show.
I was like, I'm about to take a nap. I was like, all right, man, I'm talking
My
too
back.
much. Like I'm ready to go to sleep. I don't know what it is now. Something about COVID makes me go to sleep around like 10 o'clock. Like it's
Please, I'm about to put this crew back here, the crew behind me, about to put them to bed right now. So, everybody, everybody who stayed with us through the whole show, I hope you enjoyed, and we're going to try this next week again. All right. So, everybody, again, follow us. My handle will be in the key. That's Dre back there at Diamonds LLC. Emery, your social media
either
is that at Great? Is it still at the
yeah,
Kickscan?
great. Yeah, at great. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of them. The underscore kickstand on Instagram. On Twitter is like at SNTF23. Yeah, so really, you better off find me on like LinkedIn. Just find my name on LinkedIn, Emery Tarkin. Like that's where that's the only social media I actually actively go on.
For those that don't know, again, Emery has a podcast where he talks about helping people get in the job market and working, especially now, now this market now. So, follow him
Yo,
on. Oh.
just got a job offer today, son. That's crazy.
So everybody on me on Instagram at Diamonds LLC, not Demons, DIEMENZ LLC, and at Diamonds without the LLC on Twitter. So follow me on there, and everybody enjoy your sports week. So everybody enjoy the week, and we'll talk next week. All right, man. You can kill the record.